We live in times when smart cities are springing up, with world leaders adopting eco-friendly policies to mitigate the effects of climate change. From tree planting programs to regular sanitation exercise, Governor Abdullahi Sule is taking deliberate steps in ensuring a clean and healthy environment across Nasarawa State. Today on the program,
just within 100 days in office, he took the law of Environmental Sanitation Law 2020.
a cleaner and an eco-friendly Nasarawa State backed by law.
I'm happy to announce to you that today, if you go, all the ditches have been evacuated.
The need to reduce, reuse and recycle has become the norm in the state.
The state has entered into a memorandum of understanding with a company, a recycling company.
We'll take a look at how the dream to convert waste to wealth is shaping up.
Our traditional rulers have are taking it as serious as possible. They go out there every last Saturday. I see many times, most of these traditional rulers, especially Emir of Lafia.
We'll also show you how Nasarawa State is tackling climate change and deforestation, one tree at a time. Nasarawa State is a gateway to the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. A sizable number of the working population of the nation's capital resides in the state. This has brought about tremendous increase in the state population, especially in the Karuazis, with its attendant effect on the resources of the state. In order to achieve a more healthy and clean environment, the Abdullahi Sule-led administration in 2019 proposed a new environmental law. The law, which was passed and signed in 2020, empowers the state government to carry out specific tasks to achieve a clean state, given its ever-increasing population. Yakubu Kwanta is the Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources of the state. He tells us how the new law has enabled the state government to achieve its goals.
In the last few months, Karu local government that have been bastardized by indiscriminate dumping of refuse is now habitable for citizens of Nasarawa State. Last month, I was practically there myself, and all indigenous motorists were stopped, and we ensure that everybody clean his drainages, everybody maintain his environment so that we can all be free from diseases. Lafia Metropolis, there were a lot of drainages that were jam-packed with refugees. I'm happy to announce to you that today, if you go, all the ditches have been evacuated.
Just within 100 days in office, he took the law of Environmental Sanitation Law 2020 and then to the House, where they passed it through, and the law encapsulated most of the things that we are not before. You can see when you go through before there was a heap of refuse everywhere, and scattered and being indiscriminately disposed of. Some are disposing it in the gutter, and some are using that method in order to at least defend the environment.
The state government has also been backed by the law to enforce the monthly sanitation exercise.
The environmental sanitation is also one of the major agenda of His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi Sule, that we are committed to keeping Nasarawa State clean. In the past 1 year, we have embarked on environmental sanitation at the end of every last Saturday of every month. We come out in marks with relevant stakeholders, environmental officers, security agencies, to come out in mass for 3 hours from 7 o'clock to 10 to make sure that all residents stays in their houses, clean their environment, and we have environmental officers that enter various houses to ensure that we have very, very good toilets, our environment are clean, shops are properly clean, drainages are evacuated accordingly to avoid floods and erosion and other dangerous water disasters.
There's no month, no matter how is it, there's no month that we fire. We must do it, and we get it. And every day, the sanitation exercise is supposed to be everyday exercise. You need not anybody to tell you that you must bath, you must wash your clothes. No. We want people to change, and the attitudinal change of the people towards the environment.
Public toilets have been constructed and routinely maintained by the state government to curb open defecation.
His Excellency, one of his desired goals also is to end up the open defecation. And Nigeria is a treaty, science, and we want to end up open defecations by 2025. So good, the Nasarawa state has started doing that. And that is why His Excellency has directed that all the local government chairmen should have at least public toilets, where those public toilets were built, and then a little charge is just based on the users, in which it is just 15 naira, just to tell you how it is. To go and ease yourself, to make yourself free, and sometimes if they find out that you are not even have the capacity of paying the 15 naira, they can leave you free to discharge you at this time. And I think this is one of the agents that will at least carve out open defecations in Nigeria.
The law also spells out penalty for defaulters.
And I'm happy to tell you that I'm the chief prosecuting officer of the state sanitation exercise. So we are prosecuting quite all right. Even now, today, we have just come from the field, then I entered into the office, and we made an arrest of 50 people.
In order to bridge information gap and create awareness on the new environment law, the state government is embarking on massive sensitization across the state.
That we have had engagement with the Emir of Lafia, we had engagement with other traditional councils, we have engagement with non-governmental organizations. Sensitization through media houses, jingle is being going around, sensitizing people the need to keep the environment very, very clean. And as I speak to you, there's a lot of reasonable compliance that people are key into this policy.
We want people to change, and the attitudinal change of the people towards the environment. We should not force the environment and then later bring about, because 75% of diseases causing organisms are from poor environment. That is what I want to tell you.
The modus operandi of the Ministry of Environment and its agencies in conducting the monthly sanitation has earned them accolades from the state governor.
So we reintroduced that in Nasarawa, and it's working. Our people have taken that very seriously. At the end of every month, the last Saturday of the month, we always go out there, we clean our environment. The Ministry of Environment is doing a fantastic job in that area, from the former commissioner all the way to this commissioner. Our traditional rulers have taken it as serious as possible. They go out there every last Saturday. I see many times, most of these traditional rulers, especially Emir of Lafia, taking the front league, Emir of Nasarawa and the rest of that, who are working very seriously and then supporting that.
Abubakar Madaki is the managing director of the Nasarawa Waste Management Authority. For him, the firm support of the governor has served as an energizer for the agency to carry out the onerous task of waste evacuation.
The governor has been doing fantastic because he makes sure that our grants, most of our staff are casuals. These casual, we employ casuals. But now that the bill has been passed into law, we're prepared to see how some of them can be permanented.
These officers are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring strict compliance to the new environmental law.
These are professionals responsible for sanitary of business premises, abattoirs, and the rest of them, including residents.
We took to the street to have first-hand knowledge of the hazardous but necessary process of waste collection and evacuation. Indeed, waste collection and evacuation is an everyday business.
Something about the West is that people will start dumping the West when there is nobody, when the place is bush, gradually increase in population, the place cover up. And when the place cover up, people don't even think that since this place is being occupied by people now, we should avoid dumping waste. They will continue to dump waste there. So those are the traditional waste that we've just written to His Excellency, so that we will evacuate all. We intend to evacuate every waste in the town now, and move to the waste dump behind the towns, at least 5 to 6 kilometers from the town. That is what we intend to do, and we've been doing it.
This is Autaba Alefi dump site in Karo local government of the state. It is 5 kilometers away from the city center and undergoes routine maintenance by authorities. The waste are sifted and sorted to extract the polythene and other useful items. These categories of waste are transformed into useful commodities. It is for this reason that the Abdullahi Sudais administration, through a public-private partnership, is establishing waste recycling plants across the state. The aim is to generate revenue through waste. This recycling plant in Karo was established by the federal government, handed over to the state government, and operated by a private firm.
The state has entered into a memorandum of understanding with a company, a recycling company. And right now, the company is working and at Autaba Alefi. You go there, you will see they are seriously working. And all the waste that are being collected, most of them are being sorted out by the sorters and sold to them. They purchase it. Sometimes we assist them through those people sorting the waste, and it gets to them. They agree with them on how much to pay, and they pay them. They collect the waste which they are using to recycling.
We have another machine in Nasarawa whereby we're trying to transform wealth, the waste to wealth. In Nasarawa local government is undergoing construction. We have one in Karo, which is also working. We had one in Lafia, in Angweredi. We were about to engage a very competent hand to engage, to start working on that. So we are deploying a whole hand-on-deck approach to it, and His Excellency is giving us the necessary support to see that citizens comply and would live in a very good environment, an habitable environment for all citizens of Nasarawa State.
The government, with the aid of the new law, is working on modalities to generate revenue through waste collection.
A provision in the law that said if they do not pay, we should compel them. This waste manager pay now. When they are paid, they now pay tax to the government. You understand? You engage them as a waste manager. He collects his money from the residents, and he now pays the government some percentage as a tax. And that is what we have been doing. And so far we've engaged a lot of them, and we are working with them, and fantastic. You can see that we have less waste. As you are passing, you can see that there is less waste now in the streets because we don't allow that.
To achieve a gas emission-free state, it recently placed a ban on the sales of charcoal. The indiscriminate falling of trees across the state was cited as a reason.
You will recall that recently we have declared a ban on charcoal production in the state and indiscriminate falling of trees. We have charged our forest officers across the state to rise to the occasion. We have commissioned them to make sure that they arrest everybody that is falling down trees that is not properly lanced. We are saddled with the responsibility of making sure that we lance you before you fall any trees, because we are having what we call HAMA, which is a security document. Before you fall any tree, it must be satisfied by a forest officer. But people who come around falling down of economic trees, guava, mango, which is not a very good thing for the next generation. To be fair to the next generation, we have to deploy a whole hand-on-deck approach to it. Recently, I have personally intercepted over 50 trucks of charcoal that is heading through Abuja, and we intercepted it in Karo Local Government Council. And the culprits were arrested and they handed over to the security agencies.
It has since commenced the enforcement of the ban. Recently, the Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources led a team of his management to Karo to commence enforcement. Trucks loaded with charcoal were seized and the fault was prosecuted.
We have a duty to protect their ecosystem for our own survival and that of the future generation, because the generation before us have been fair to us. The Nasarawa State Government has never at any time prevented locals from picking twigs and branches of trees in their communities for immediate use as energy source for cooking and other domestic needs. However, we will not tolerate the merchandising of our forest resources by unscrupulous individuals in the guise of addressing any poverty in our community.
The Abdullahi Sulei's administration is mulling the planting of 5,000 trees in the state. This is aimed to provide a healthy and conducive atmosphere for inhabitants of the state.
We've requested, when it comes to this issue of a tree planting campaign, the environment, if you look at the weather, it's very hot. So what we did was to request to His Excellency to give us some funds for us to be able to plant trees, so that these trees will be to raise. And His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi Esule immediately approved some funds for us to purchase azote seedlings, where we have a proposed garden at very close to Shabode. So we raise those seedlings where we sell it to the general public for beautification and landscaping. So, these trees now serves as a shield to the people in the environment. It also releases what? Oxygen. These trees traps the carbon dioxide that is being escaping to the atmosphere, and it releases oxygen. So I found out that we have an aesthetic environment. So if you cut down these trees now, you find that the environment now will be warmed, where a lot of things happens in that environment. So that is the essence of banning of this charcoal, because these people now use these trees now. When they cut this tree now, they use it to produce charcoal, and it has a deleterious effect on the people and the environment.
Already, the Timber Association have engaged with them. The religious body, the traditional institution, we have already agreed to declare Operation Plant 5 million trees already, and everybody is already key into it. From now to the next 2 years, we'll be able to plant over 5 million trees in Nasarawa State. Because of the influx of the people in Karo local government and some of the major cities in Nasarawa State, there is a lot of gaseous emission, and with this plantation of trees, it reduces the gaseous, and it gives some gaseous emission control to our environment, which is also what His Excellency wanted. And I want to assure you, everybody is ready to key into that. Between now and the next 1 year, by the grace of God, we will attain reasonable green environment, and we are talking with our forest officers and the rest to make sure that all hand on deck approach is being maintained, so that everybody must plant a tree today.
There's no doubt that the environment-friendly policies of the Abdullahi Sulei's administration is making Nasarawa State cleaner and healthier. The Nasarawa Investment and Development Agency, NASIDA, is a one-stop shop for all investments in the state.
The first reading.
Passed by an act of parliament and signed into law in December 2020, the organization has been fully operational in the last 1 year. It was created to drive the economic blueprint of the Abdullahi Sulei's administration. Abdullah Ibrahim is the managing director of the agency. Since it began operation, NASIDA has succeeded in attracting several investments into the state. Prominent among them is the Technology Village, situated in Asopada village of Karo local government of the state.
It's a robust partnership that includes housing, technology center, technology commercial spaces, MSME center, schools, hospital. So it's a live, work, play environment. We are also leveraging the Nasarawa Technology Village to take advantage for Nasarawa State to play a prominent role in Nigeria's fast developing tech economy.
A groundbreaking ceremony was recently carried out at the project site by the governor. The project, when completed, is expected to provide shelter, boost the economy, and create employment for the ever-growing population of the state.
All we are trying to do here is to ensure that we don't take Nasarawa state money into this kind of project. Rather, we bring our own equities in various forms. And that is what we are doing in this PPP. We brought our various equities in here, and then we use the money from Taj Bank in order to develop it. Because that's what the wise men today do. The world has changed.
Okay, well, it's a very huge project, as you know. We're looking at 2,000 units of housing. So automatically 2,000 families are going to get accommodation. And we have various categories from 1 bedroom to 2 bedroom, so we're starting from the lowest of the low, affordable social housing, and then all the way to about 25 million for bigger families. So in terms of job creation, you're looking at not less than 50,000 direct jobs are going to be created from that activity, because for every one house you are building, you need more than 10 people, to construct that house.
But one of the things that really struck my mind when I saw that is the idea that this is an administration that set out a plan in its economic development strategy that is not just sitting on the shelf. This plan is being implemented. And the more we see it of not just your typical agricultural investment, the more you see of His Excellency wanting to drag the state into the 21st century by creating a space for new companies, new generation ideas to incubate, which is what I believe the technology village is going to do. Again, is another hallmark of the sort of shifts that we have seen in Nasarawa over the last.
Locals of Asopada are hopeful that the technology village will bring better fortunes to them.
Living here for long, so we are very happy for what Governor want to do here, to develop here for us, because during the time here is bush. We have many challenges within these areas. Thieving people around 8 o'clock, you can't pass here. 9, they will be robbing Okadas, killing Okadas inside bush here. So we thank God for him. If he can develop here for us, at least those things will not happen here again.
So we thank God for His Excellency, our Governor, Nasarawa State, Alhaji A. Sule, for his project he has been doing. So we appreciate him. But me, I request him, whenever he want to develop here, get us our own chance where we go sit down. They take our own small money where we they take. Let it not pursue us from here, Gabadia, not all in all. Get our own chance, because we appreciate it. Even not without us, our children will come and partake the project he has been doing.
No, in fact, as we are here for long, this way is a bush. That's number one. And then we are grateful because the place will become a developed area. And then people that they are here, like we were here for long, as a tipper workers here, as I'm a chairman in this place. And I believe, say yes, we are part of our work. As our workers, we use our motors and then we get our daily bread. And the people that they are from far, even our children here, I hope that maybe they will get job here. If it should be possible for us.
We are happy about this governor project for this also a pada. We are happy to see the development that will come for this ASO. because many things will come for this ASO. The many development, many work, many projects will come ahead of this.
Just like the technology village, the agency has attracted investors for the establishment of retail and recreational center in Karo. The groundbreaking ceremony was recently conducted by the governor. He is hopeful that the venture would boost the revenue of the state and revamp economic activities in Karo international markets.
Our strategy of engagement to leverage on our proximity to the federal capital actually have given us a number of projects and investments that were mentioned. And here especially the Karo Retail and Recreational Center is a significant offering, both for economic, social impact, while being totally in line with our Nasarawa economic development strategy.
The mall Karo shall feature ShopRite as the retail anchor and a well-balanced tenant mix of indigenous and international food retail chains, restaurants, electronic and gadget stores, fashion retailers, pharmacies, and other line tenants. The proposed project site here hosts over 50 matured trees that has grown all over the years. And in our commitment to the environment, we shall preserve the ecological footprint of this project site by retaining the matured trees and introducing an expansive recreational park and children's playground, positioned to offer families and friends a place that they can call their own, a community park that they can call theirs.
The agency has attracted several investors in the agricultural sector. They include the Asma Rice Farm and the Flour and Maize Sugar Refinery in total local governments. And that's our package from the solid mineral state, where Governor Abdullahi Sule is meeting the aspiration of the people and exceeding all expectations. Until the next one, it's bye for now.